As an architect, I had been exploring and studying the relationship between people and space, including the use of the space in cities, and I was fascinated by topics such as parallel worlds and dark matter, but suffered from my inability to achieve this broad and distant goal. When I was studying architecture in college, and I was trying to solve this problem of big cities like Beijing or New York, when people are short of the resource and the space, then many of them are facing poverty and hunger and no house to live in. I had a bold assumption that came to my mind. Can we save the earth by shrinking humans? Also, I know some cartoons and movies had mentioned such ideas, which made me so surprised and excited, such as the Ant-Man, Gulliver's Travels, and so on. Also, there's a movie called The Downsizing. It said that in the future, searching for a way to solve overpopulation and global warming, so the Dr. Jason invents the downsizing technology, a process to shrink people to a height of 5 inches, which is 13 centimeters. Although this movie tells such a magical topic, but the lack of the good explanation of the process of the downsizing and the logic problems leads to few people knowing and loving it. But the technology of the downsizing, I really like it because we can use the technology to solve a lot of problem. And also, if we shrinking as an ant-man, we can eat a lot of vegetables and we can use some waters to feed us, so that the future is maybe the good way to solve the problem. And so the thesis maybe is protecting the earth by reducing the space we use, reducing our body construction and improving our personal health. And this is the movie called Ant-Man, published by the Marvel Comics. Although the movie takes into account of the lots of physical knowledge, including the conversion of the mass, the density of the material changes after the change, and the other factors, but shrinking people is needed a very good and practical way in the future. So try to protect our earth by reducing the space we used. Maybe we can redesign ourselves might be a good way, not just switching from gas to a babysitter, but serious change on the genetic level. So there's a lot of benefits of the shrinking people. Maybe reducing yourself can reducing a problem possible of the getting sick. So I honestly don't really know where to begin with the first part of the question, like along the giant and the tiny Ant-Man. It's really interesting to think about it through. Ant-Man may be a crazy but useful way to deal with tons of the problems in the future life. The incredible shrinking man will certainly remain a purely theoretical premise. Protect our plants by using shrink technology, redesign our body construction, make your body health, change our place from a guest to an owner in order to care more about the planet we use. So shrinking yourself to serve the earth. As I thought before, I would often do some interesting architectural models and city models to simulate my idea. Like Manhattan model, if people can reduce in size, the scale of the city can also reduce to a very small size. Even we can assume that we can live in a very small models like this. And you can see, maybe I made a townhouse for the people, but if the people is like the huge scale, we can't use that. But if we can shrink ourselves like this size, everyone can get a townhouse and everyone can get a huge space and a resource to live in. So maybe imagine that. If we shrink ourselves to an ant-man size, we can get our town housing, we can get our own city, we can get to plant of the water and vegetables and the fruits. So let's go inside to the place to imagine that the future life of the shrinking people. Thank you so much. That was me, Andy Lee, shrinking people to protect ourselves.